In case you don't know still, my name is Kolamide Dwayne, and you're listening to the Kolamide Podcast.
You ain't got a clue, let's be honest. I had a couple seasons made a forest. I put in the work and take the profit.
Hi guys, my name is Kolamide and you're listening to the Kolamide Podcast. It's been a long ass time I put one out, and that's just because my village people have been trying to get me. I was sick, I had a sore throat, I was on a tour. Yeah, I was working, going from place to place, so it was hard to record, but now I'm back, and then I hope that, you guys forgive me. I know I've gotten some messages, what's going on and stuff, but yeah, I am back, and good thing is I'm not alone this time. I've got brother, friend. Yeah, he's my friend. Damien is here with me. Yo, what's good, man?
What's good, then? Damien here.
All right, Damien. I don't know. We've known each other how long now? Just a couple months. Yeah, a couple months. But he's a really nice guy. I like him because he always has something to say about something, and that's just perfectly. That's just perfectly what I need on this. First off, let's just dive into it. Yeah. What I usually do on my pod is people send me questions. Yeah, and I just answer. Dumbass questions actually. Dumbass questions. But then I just go ahead and answer because what other options do I have? The first question here says, "What's the most ratchet thing you've ever done?" So I'm guessing like Paul, right?
Yeah, ratchet.
Yeah.
Most ratchet.
I'll let you go first.
Damn, that's really hard to even think of right now. That's really hard to even think of. Like poorest, as in what? Just like
Okay, so let me give you an example, right? So this girl on Twitter, she said, "Oh, my Apple Music is about to expire. I would screen record my songs now." See how that sounds like really poor, but obviously like it's bants, it's jokes, but then
Damn, I'm trying to think. I did have one time. I think my gym membership was out, so I think I took. This was like my first year in university, and my flatmate, this girl, she actually had the same membership as I did. Yeah. So I think I used her card as a membership and swiped a couple of times, and then one time the guy had asked me, it actually stopped me because he noticed on the screen there was a girl's face, and I was actually surprised that they didn't catch this because she was a few shades lighter than I am as well. And this, so
she's a girl. What you saying? Few shades?
No, but because I'm sure she came to the gym a lot with the hats, and I did too. So they I don't know if they just never looked at the screen.
Bro,
and
you have a beard.
And then one time they finally did, and I was like, I didn't know a way to explain. I said, "Oh, sorry, it was an accident." I picked up the card by accident, and I still went for maybe another month or two with that girl's card still because I just refused to pay for the next membership.
Mad. Mine, I think. What did I do? Okay, so me and my guy, we went to one of them eateries, I don't know, Sweet Sensation or one of them, and then, we're hungry, we started eating there and stuff, and then I just said to him, we don't have enough spoons at home. He's like, yeah, we don't have enough spoons. Bro, so we stole the spoon. I swear down, okay, so here's what happened. The waitress that attended to us was rude. For no reason. I think we asked him, So I'm just like, you know what, bro? He's like, yeah, let's take the spoon. Bro, we took the spoon. So it was a different person that came to pick up our plates when we're done. And it was just weird because like, where's the... You guys,
where's this one?
Like, the person just looked at us and two of us just, looked at our phones and...
Sorry, no spoons were here.
No spoons were here with our hands, bro. What are you people say? That's about it. Anyway, second question. Oh, of course, I knew there's always a sexual one. Have you ever had a threesome? Damien?
Oh, damn. That's the thing. Okay, I'd probably say the start of a threesome. Yeah. And then we were interrupted, and then it didn't happen anymore. And I think since then...
I want to hear. That's a very interesting story.
Illustrate. Okay, it was like me and a friend of mine. So...
Wait, girl or guy?
They were both friends of mine actually, the girl and the guy. So it's like two guys and a girl. And it was very, very weird because basically he was both of them were in a room during the party, and then I got a text from him to come upstairs to the room. So I figured it was maybe either an emergency or maybe he was just in the room like by himself, you know?
Yeah.
So I come in and like I could see just the bed and the sheets and stuff over. And then I now hear her voice say, "Hey, just come over here and sit like just, you know, next to me in the bed." So I thought it was weird, but you know, just like they're both friends of mine, whatever. So I sat down the bed and yeah, she started grabbing me, like grabbed my arm and was like, "Yeah, I want one of you guys to do this and I want the other guy to do this." And it was like, and I guess me and my best friend, like we kind of looked at each other. We thought it was funny. It was a bit funny. So like just to play along. And then when it kind of came to a weird point was when she said, I believe she said something like,
"You guys
no. Oh, wow. That was crazy. She just basically said, "You guys should choose between each other who's going to actually, you know what I mean, get to smash." And we looked at each other like, what is it?
Bros before hoes.
So I jumped out of the bed, he jumped out of the bed. Luckily for us, our friend whose house it was came through the room as well at the same time.
Were you guys all naked at this point?
No. We were clothed. But of course we were at a friend's house, so it wasn't like we weren't dressed for a party. I had sweats and you know, and just like t-shirt and I think we call it shorts. Yeah, that's almost did, but didn't in the end.
Okay.
Didn't in the end.
On my part, I don't know. I've never had a threesome, but I mean, I'm looking forward to it. One time though, I was close, but I thought she was joking. So this girl, you know, hit me up and said, "Blah blah blah. My friend likes you. This," and I said, "Your friend likes me. Okay, what's her number?" She's like, "Oh no, you're not just going to skip past me." And I'm like, "What?" Like your friend, me and you have been friends for a while, but we've never really talked about stuff like that. So you just hit me up out of the blue and say, "Your friend likes me." I'm like, "Okay, so what's up? Like, let me have a number or something." And then she's like, "Oh no, and we both want you." I'm like, huh? And then, you know, I thought she was joking. It was at night. I just let it go.
It's a trap.
Yeah, listen. The next morning, she texted me as well and said, "Oh, you just lost your time." So I don't know. I met the other babe at some random place, and then she was like, "Oh yeah, we were serious." Oops. Anyway, that was it. That's the closest I've ever got to that. Never actually got in, you know. But anyway, that's those are the questions I have for now. But yeah, to move on to what we're gonna actually talk about today. First, the xenophobia thing, you know, and then we are going to go about some topic that I saw on Twitter that just really caught my eye and I wanted to talk about. But you know, first we can do xenophobia, and then we can talk about Nicki Minaj retiring. Right, so first, xenophobia, right? Last week was, you know, crazy in South Africa. They were doing shit to Nigerians, and then, you know, in Nigeria as well, we retaliated. But what do you think can be done to avoid stuff? Because this is not the first time, right? Yeah, this is not the first. No. What do you think can be done to avoid, you know, this thing reoccurring again?
I mean, first and foremost, condolences to those who... And of course, because also with the retaliations here in Nigeria, a lot more Nigerians were harmed than South Africans. I mean, I heard about ShopRite being looted. ShopRite might be
but they
South African
people.
owned, but it's I think these franchises are run by Nigerians. They employ Nigerians. So we are really the ones who are suffering from these reprisals. I did hear that they killed... the vandalized cars and everything. So it's, I mean, it's definitely wrong to approve. In terms of what we can do, I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I feel like when it comes to things like xenophobia and racism, I never want to focus on what the victim can do to avoid it. It's always better to change the perpetrators, if that makes sense. So this is something that has to start in South Africa as well. You know what I mean? I believe their governments or their security force or whatever it is also have to kind of keep a better eye or a closer eye on these things. And
do you reckon like a punishment for them or something?
I mean, of course, those who killed and burned someone should be tried for, like, whether it's murder, attempted murder, assault, like those who vandalized should be tried for that as well. Of course, that goes without saying. But during this same time, there were also some clips from some leaders of political party. I believe it was. Who was essentially endorsing. You know, like exactly what happened, and then I also heard there was also a lot of like, you know, they're only trying to
take back their land
against the criminals. They're not going against the regular Nigerian. But that's also like, at what point, I mean, who decides who's a criminal then?
Exactly.
You know, who decides a criminal? I mean, like your face doesn't say if you're a criminal or not.
True.
Or oh no, he doesn't speak, our language, so now that means he's a criminal. So it's like, at what point do we do it? But in terms of the solution, I think it has to start from South Africa. Right. I really do. Now, in terms of us in Nigeria, what we can do, I don't think we should fall into the trap of like an eye for an eye, because as I said, there weren't a lot of South Africans hurt.
Not at all. I don't even think we hurt any.
By what happened? Yeah, exactly. By what happened here. So we're only gonna hurt ourselves if we feel like every time we hear this, then we should go out and retaliate and burn. You know, maybe even more now. Maybe our government also should now, I guess, take some kind of action, or at least, you know what I mean, or at least make it clear that that its citizens' lives should not be at stake in a country. In a country which we actually have a historical relationship with, with South Africa, we have actually very close.
Helping them with like, apartheid.
Yeah,
exactly. So in addition to everything you said, I actually strongly believe it. That's the best way to go about it. But then I also think that a lot of education should be done. Like, a lot of people didn't think that or burning down these franchises or burning down these shops were actually affecting us as opposed to South Africans. Because how many South Africans are here in Nigeria?
Exactly.
And then you're burning, these people are, these shops and stuff are run by Nigerians. So yeah. But, that escalated, and then it escalated on Twitter as well. AKA was in the middle of, all of that on social media. YC, I think, is the one that first, went on. YC said a couple stuff. Went on and said stuff, about how AKA reacted when Nigeria lost to when South Africa lost to Nigeria. Do you think that had any sort of hate crime vibe? Those tweets.
I mean, of course, there's there's always, when it comes to sports, rivalry between countries, clubs. It can get, I'm an Arsenal fan. My cousin is Man United. I have another cousin who's Chelsea. We throw a lot of crazy, crazy jokes, a lot of hate stuff, like football club and stuff. Now, I would probably say AKA's, I feel like, where he went wrong in this whole situation, because I do believe his initial tweets were taken out of context.
Yeah, exactly.
But his mistake was, I mean, he had nothing constructive to kind of bring to the conversation. And when you don't have that, especially with a matter that's sensitive, if you don't make a solid statement and say, okay, this is what I feel about it, I feel condolences or this or that, but he just essentially threw words out there, and everybody caught on to it. Trying to be sarcastic, and everybody caught on to it. And instead of backing off, which would have been smart to do, he just
kept going,
double down. Yeah, well, I'm not gonna come to Nigeria anyways. I'll just chill in Sandton, South Africa. He doubled down, and then he just exposed himself. Obviously, YC is he's Nigerian, so of course he has to kind of, stand for his thing. And of course, mind you, those tweets were also, the day of? The day when it really went viral, it was still kind of fresh. Exactly. There was no time to sit down and analyze the tweets and, okay, no, this is what I actually meant. It was too late then. And then once Burna Boy, he commented on it, that was it.
Bombshell, bro. Burna Boy just came on, and then
I think if AK was smart, honestly, he shouldn't have just.
I think he came out and apologized after. He came back out and apologized. Even this guy, what's his name? MI was on his side. I saw MI said, and I feel like he genuinely likes Nigeria, AKA.
He was trying to be diplomatic.
Exactly.
He tried to understand the point as well.
Yeah. I think his only mistake, like you said, was, trying to be sarcastic or trying to, But yeah, that was crazy. Anyway, condolences to everybody who lost property or lives. These things cannot be gotten back. And I hope that, we just sort of know, self-educate, or even educate the ones that we see around us that don't know about these things, that look, fighting amongst ourselves is only just doing us, no good at all. Yeah, and moving on. So the next thing I want to talk about is Nicki Minaj. She put out a tweet. It says she's retiring. Loads and loads of comments going. A lot of people. I personally still don't believe it. I feel like it's some sort of publicity stuff, or it's one of them. Or I'll come out of retirement and exactly. So what do you think?
Well, I mean, first and foremost, I don't think any rapper, like especially with rap.
Yeah.
I mean, music in general, but I think with rap specifically, I don't think any rapper truly retires.
Just like look at Jay-Z.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's just like they maybe come to a point where, you know, the limelight. So exactly, they're not actively in the limelight. But I mean, I think she'll still record. Like I think probably it just has to do with. I mean, this girl's kind of been. It's been almost a decade.
Yeah, if not more.
Or if not more since I think the first Nicki Minaj really broke through. Yeah, it's been more than a decade. So, like, you know, maybe she just feels like she might need some time away from the limelight. Right. I certainly don't think she's retiring. I think maybe she's focusing on family. Maybe she has other business interests. You know, she has this radio radio show. Yeah, it's like a Queen Radio. So maybe she's gonna focus on that. A couple business ventures, but I definitely won't count out like hearing a Nicki Minaj feature here and there over the mix. Yeah, right. Yeah. I mean, I think maybe it makes sense to take a break, but no rapper really retires. You know, especially someone who's that passionate about rapping. You know, she's very passionate.
And plus, like, she's like, there's very few female rappers. You know, she's one of the very few. So, I mean, I'm just looking online here, and I'm seeing 50 Cent also saying he doesn't want her to retire as well. I mean, her fans obviously losing their mind. You know, going, oh, you have to. But yeah, me too. I just feel like, you know, I don't know. It will feel weird without her in the rap game somehow. I mean, eventually she'll leave, but like she's just been around for the longest time. And then there's also the guy that she's going to be with, some Kenneth Petty guy. You know, when the thing came out, when the story of her retiring came out, some, I don't know what page that was, put out. You know, the headline literally said, or somewhat says stuff like, Nicki Minaj is leaving her career to get married to a convicted felon and you know, convicted felon and rapist. Wow. Yeah, that's, I mean, like, I think it's true, you know, that he is all these things, but obviously they put it out just to get clickbait, basically. Of course. But then, I don't know.
Provoking title. I mean, look, everybody has a past. Like, I'm sure, like, I mean, Nicki Minaj, a lot of, I guess because of her image a little bit, a lot of people forget that she's from Queens. Like,
exactly.
She's from Queens. I'm sure she grew up around guys who have all been in jail for something, you know? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, her attraction to him won't be because of that sort of thing. So, I mean, that was probably his, I mean, like a past life. Plus, I mean, he got out of jail, right? Yeah. A couple years ago. So he's done his time in terms of that. So there's no way you can, I don't know, you should stick him, I guess, with the same, same paint, unless maybe in a year we hear something or something like that. But until then, hey, let her find, you know?
Right. All right, so to the main thing that we're gonna discuss today, and this is just, it's one topic, but I bet it's going to spiral into, you know, several other topics. So I came across this tweet, right? This guy is going, he spent about 30,000 naira on a babe that he kind of just met. You know, they've been talking for a while online, but then the first day they met, you know, I don't know if it's a date or, well, in his words, he said they got down, like they got to smash and everything. But, you know, just generally, right, first dates, how much is the highest amount that you have spent on a first date?
First date, very, very first date. As I said, I don't think I've spent more than 50 euros. Like maybe that's right now. I think that's that's 20,000 naira, I believe. Yeah. I don't think I've spent more than that on a first date. If I think about it, because like I've always felt like a first date, especially when, okay, to clarify as well, a first date is let's say when you're still getting to know someone. So, you know, it's different for me, and at least for me, it's different from like somebody that maybe I've met just by mutual friends and I've been around already, and then you say, oh, okay, let's go out and spend that time together. So okay, in that case, then of course you spend anything you feel, you know, she's worth. But first date, probably 50 euros is probably the most, but it's also because a lot of my first dates, I try and avoid a place where I would be sort of stuck in in a space with that person, especially if you're just getting to know someone.
What kind of places would you avoid?
I'd say avoid. Well, I mean, okay, like restaurants in general, I try and avoid, especially if it's not especially, unless it's like an evening day. Maybe she's only available in the evening, but during the daytime, I'd rather go somewhere where it's quite social. Yeah. It's an open area, so you also feel more comfortable around each other. It could be a park. It could even just be like I'm going to the mall for a coffee, like a Starbucks or something like that, and just sit in the Starbucks and have coffee and have a conversation. But the fact that it's like the way these spaces are built and it's open, it's communal, you both feel more comfortable. If things get awkward, there's always subject matter to talk about. I feel like in a restaurant sitting across from each other, if her personality's dead or your personality's dead, bro, you've essentially sat there and then you've wasted time and money, and it's not a good thing to waste both at the same time. It's either I spend a lot of money and I had a great time, or you know what I mean, or listen, we were only here for like 5 minutes or so, but it wasn't interesting, so it's fine, So like there has to be a compromise. You can't waste money and time, I believe.
For me, I think I spent the highest I spent naira. See how much first day? Yeah, about actually 20-30K as well. This wasn't like a date. It was I mean, we could call it a date because, to be honest, I didn't know how the day would go. We had agreed to meet up. So here's what we've been talking for a while. She was in school at the time. I was working, and then we've been talking, and then she finally came home for holidays and stuff. And then we agreed to meet, and then she's like, "Oh, we can only do this place because I have to be back somewhere." I'm like, cool. Let's just see. We've talked so long. Let's see. We get there, she's having fun. The place is supposed to be somewhat cancelled. So she's like, "Oh, I can stay longer, right?" So I think we had ice cream, ate even, then went to see a movie. One of them late night movies type. It was like 11 something this time. We're done with the movie. I'm like, okay, so is this it? Do we go home? She's like, "Oh no, I would like to spend more time with you." So yeah, you gotta pay for like hotel, get food or whatever. So yeah, about 30 grand actually. And then if you think about it, right, that's money for, I mean, in today's world, it might not be like a lot of money. But think about it. You work 30 days, you earn like what, 150K, right? 30K out of that is like,
is a fifth of your salary.
Listen, just one night, and then you're not even certain of where this is going or whatever. Do you think that's smart on the guy part? Do you think that's smart? Is that something we should? Because there's always the talk of who should pay, and I'm not even getting into who should pay. I'm just saying the amount that's paid on the first day, because girls expect so much. Okay, so to this guy that was saying stuff about how much he spent and stuff, there were comments from Babe saying, "Oh, that's not even a lot, blah blah blah. Spend 50K."
It's relative, though. That's one thing as well that I feel like maybe we guys also have to kind of discuss within ourselves, and it's definitely one thing I learned from a young age already. You should always believe you should always date within what your budget is, right? So like, if you're looking to date a girl who expects a Benz to roll up in front of her house, pick her up, take her to the biggest restaurant in town,
wouldn't mind that.
They wouldn't mind that, but there is a difference between a girl who fantasizes about those things, who's like, "Oh, my perfect date would be that," and a girl who expects that from every date. You know what I mean? That she goes, and it's a difference. Now, of course, finding which one is the difference is a whole other search. Is a whole other like discovery journey and all that. But for sure, I always say like try and date within your budget, tax bracket, the salary. So I mean, if you're a guy who maybe makes, okay, like you said, 150K, I do think though, like you can make a pretty fun date for a girl out of maybe 10-15K. I'm pretty sure.
Nigerian babe.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure not, because again, this is where like the first date, the time when that first date happens is important, right? If you've been speaking for maybe 2-3 weeks, you should know certain little things that she likes that won't really take that much, effort, time, or money to do.
Girls like expensive things.
Of course, of course, everybody likes expensive things. As guys too, we spend money. You know what I mean? On things, I know guys who basically say, "Oh, you know what? Spending $50K on a date for a girl is crazy," but they'll spend $50K one night at the club. So it's like everybody likes expensive things. It's all about, I guess, value. What you see is value, right? Now, if there's a girl that you see and you're like, yo, she's so interesting, I'm sure a guy who makes $150K a month will spend that 30, 40, 50K on her to go on a date because he feels like, okay, this is an investment I'm making, If he's not willing to spend that amount, I would say most times it's because he doesn't see the value in that, in receiving that. Of course, girls have high standards, I think, but I still believe like you can have pretty, because throughout my dating, I'll probably say throughout my dating, I don't...
Well, you're dating right now, right?
Yeah.
How much do you spend on an average date with your girl?
Now see, my girl's different because she just wants her kind of date idea is just food, Right. She likes food. So restaurants, maybe between 5 to 10, 15K, I think at most, you'll spend in a restaurant. Okay. No matter how much food, you buy, and that's it. And then movies, we go to the movies a couple times. That's 8 to 10K as well. Yeah. So, my girl's a bit different, I guess, in that way. She sees like for her, I think, for her, she's more about experiences, right? So a date for her that would cost $50K, she would rather use that $50K to take a trip somewhere. Or let's go kayaking or something. Let's do something sort of with it. So I guess I'm lucky in that sense. But I always believe dates within your tax. It's tax right because like girls. Another thing too with girls, obviously, if a girl has a history of dating guys who all spent $100K on her every single weekend or something like that, then naturally she would expect that from the guy. Now it's up to you as a guy to either say, okay, you know what, I'm going to, you know what I mean? I'm gonna have to turn it down because I don't have that money, or as I said, think of something creative that she'll enjoy, because at the end of the day, right, money does, I guess, help make a girl interested, but money doesn't always keep girls interested. I feel like money is it's an addition, it's to something. A guy with a dead personality who maybe doesn't have a dress sense, he doesn't have a sense of humor. A girl might sleep with him once or twice, but that companionship is never going to be there for him. It's never going to be there for him. So he has her, but he doesn't have her, if that makes sense.
Okay, yeah, true. Makes sense. Do you think there's a certain amount of money that a guy would spend that he would sort of expect something from the girl? You think there's okay, so you've gone on a couple dates, right? Maybe say 2, 3. In those 3 dates, you spend an accumulated, say, 150K. Maybe 20K here, 60K there, 70, just spread across, right? 150K, 3 dates, right? Do you think it's okay for the guy to lay claim and say, okay, so I don't know, we're not dating yet, but I can say, yeah, I'm seeing this person, or me and this girl are getting serious. Is it down to the money? Because there's guys under the tweet as well going, yo, that's a lot of money. I don't even know where we're going. I don't know what this. So if I'm talking to 5 girls, or say 4 girls, 4 different girls, spend 30K, 50K, yo, that's a lot of money. Yeah. So if I just focus and spend all of that on one person, is it enough to sort of lay claim? Because girls also do this thing where usually at the end of maybe like a fight or something, it's usually the girls that say, oh, he wasted my time. I mean, both the times were wasted, but girls always say, so is it okay to say, yo, she wasted my money or something? Is there...
Of course, of course. as I said, nobody likes to waste time and waste money at the same time.
Exactly.
So,
That's the worst one.
You know what I mean? And one of those things has to happen, especially, in these situations. Of course, if a girl feels like he wasted the time, you can say he's wasted the money. Now, this goes back to my point in that, like, money is an addition, So as much as you can say, oh, I spent a certain amount of money on her, if you spent maybe $100K going to restaurants 3 times, but all throughout all 3 dates, she was sat on her phone, staring at her phone, and you didn't notice because you spent
wasted.
Exactly. The amount of money spent. You know what I mean? If you maybe didn't pay attention to the money and looked at her, you would know, hey, this wasn't going to go anywhere anyways after the first or 2 dates, So as I said, if you're sitting in the date thinking, oh, okay, the bill's $150K, I'm definitely going to smash. I don't know. Like, I'm not sure about that. Because the one thing I will say though, don't expect anything from women in general because you just don't know, Okay. She might smile throughout the date, but she's just really waiting to leave.
She's texting our group chat.
Exactly. This guy's lame. Exactly.
Dead
so
guy.
Don't expect anything. Just go have a good time. Look at, try and see if you catch any, I guess, body language or anything that tells you it's going away because.
Okay, to sort of wrap this up, I'll say mine, but what's the worst first date you've ever been on?
Worst first date. Damn, it'll be weird to say that I haven't had a bad. I don't think I've had a bad.
Have you had a bad date? Not first or second, but just.
Yes, I did have a bad date. I have had a bad date. I think it was. I think I was out with this was like my ex. I think university.
Yeah.
And we were out, and this was like basically her family hadn't known anything about about us yet, and I believe her brother and one of his friends were out in this club, and I'd gone to meet up with her. Mm-hmm. So I get there, of course, not realizing that the guy standing next to her is her brother. So I walked up to her. I walked up to her like not on the lips, like a kiss on the cheek, but I'm standing, but like it's very suggestive. He's standing behind her, doing a kiss on the cheek. So he turns and he's looking at me, and I've never met her brother, so I just look at him, ignore him, turn back up, put my arm around her. She slides to the side. I felt a bit, so weird, and then literally she leans in and was like, sorry. Stop. So I was like, oh man, damn. So I just, awkwardly put my hand out, like, hey, how you doing? I heard you're an Arsenal fan because she mentioned that before. Yeah. I heard you're an Arsenal fan.
That always works.
Something to break down in this thing. And he was like, he was nice to shake my hand, but the rest of the evening, cold. She was maybe standing 3 feet away from me, for the rest of the evening. So I'll probably say that's a bad date that I had, because it wasn't a fun night at all.
Oh, okay. Let me see. Ooh, bad date or bad first date. Let me see.
It's hard to think of that
bad date. Wait,
because I'll be honest with you, I probably forgot. If it was a really, really bad date, I'd wipe that from my memory.
Yeah, you always try to just forget these things. But let me see. Okay, so this one wasn't down to any of our fault. So this was around when, what's that Marvel movie? Avengers, the last one, Infinity War, I think. Is that? Yeah, or something. Yeah, that one. So it had come out, and then me and this girl have been chatting for a while, on and off. So I'm like, I'd like to see this film with you, because we haven't really hung out. We maybe just seen each other once or twice because we had a mutual friend, right? But then she's cute, and I thought, okay, we should hang out. And then she said, okay, so let's do this cinema close to her house. And I'm like, yes, just do. She's like, I know. So this was a long ass journey down to where she lives far from, she's not I don't know. Anyway, I just remember she could be listening. I was like, so it was bad for me, right? Anyway, let me not just mention. Oops. Yeah, let me not just mention. Anyway, so far outskirts of Lagos maybe. So I go down there. By the way, it's not so far. It wasn't so far from, because my parents lived there anyway. So I just went home, saw my parents, but I wasn't really there to see them. 2 minutes after I was out of the house. So we had gone to the cinema there. First, it was packed, and I'm like, okay, I expected this, blah, blah, blah. So I'm waiting for her. I got there what 25 minutes before her, and it's closer to her house anyway. But I was waiting for her. She finally arrives, and then let's get there and pay for the film. And they're like, oh, we're sold out. I'm like, wow. I'm like, yeah. So we're already here. Let's just see whatever. So there was no other film except this Nigerian film. It looked good on the banner. So let's see it, bro. We're in this theater 10 minutes, and I'm like, let's go, because the film was crap. Like, it was what Papa Jasco is. This is what basically what that film was, and it was horrible. Like, the whole film, they were doing some old ass jokes. I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, so they on the banner they put like picture of like popular Nigerian actors. Like, you thought each of these actors had one scene, and that was it. So we stayed in the movie maybe 15 minutes, and then there was this girl behind us who was laughing loud. I'm like, this thing isn't even funny. So and I remember that day was because the movie had just come out. It was pretty pricey at the time. Paid for 2 people, bro. And then she's like, let's go. In my mind, I'm thinking about my money, like, shit, man. My money doesn't go right. But I couldn't just take it anymore, so I stood up and we left. And it was I got back home and I'm like, shit, I should have just stayed. I should have just rescheduled.
Exactly.
Avengers is like, okay, I'm just wasting money. I didn't even watch Avengers. So that's been my probably worst one I can remember.
Oh, I just thought of one actually. But I don't know if this counts as a date because it is a date, but I dated the girl after this.
Okay.
It was her birthday because I'd been talking to her for like maybe 2 weeks before then, and it was her birthday that night. I was actually supposed to meet up with them at her flats where her flatmates were. They were having a little drink up celebration before I went. Yeah. I was late. I was running a bit late because of my friends, so we missed that. So we went straight to the club. So anyways, we're in the club. Everything's going well. Everything's going nice. I think at some point she'd like drank like a fair amount. Mm-hmm. So her friends kind of took her downstairs, and I lost track of of where she was. So I came downstairs. I think I was saying peace to a couple of guys outside, and I turned and she was walking into a cab with two of her best friends and 2 other guys. So essentially the date, quote in quotes, ended with her going home with a guy. Going home with a guy.
Another guy.
No. Well, I mean, to me it looked like it was a guy. It was only after I found out the 2 guys were dating or were just about to start dating her friends. And so they dropped her off and then went and then left. But for me, that was the date ended. At that moment I was just like, this date ended with her going home with someone else. That was it.
Man, crazy, because I thought your story was going to end with you just lost her. Like, I don't know where she went there.
No, I lost her for quite a while. Like I said, when I came down, that was
you didn't have a number anyway.
Peace with everybody. I did, but I lost her. No answer on the phone. It's like I think she was quite drunk at this point because her friends were literally lifting her into the taxi when I saw them down the street.
Crazy. All right, so just to sort of wrap this episode up, what shows are you watching right now? What TV shows are you seeing?
I'm just about to start Billions because I'm behind on that.
Okay.
Way behind, but I've heard a lot about that.
All right.
So Billions, that I like to focus on 1 or 2 shows. So I'd say Billions, Power's back.
Yeah.
It's not as
2 episodes in. I've seen that as well.
It's good. I mean, it's still interesting, but I feel like Power kind of lost the touch after maybe the 3rd or the 4th season.
Oh. Well,
like the writing, I feel like the writing was a lot more exciting the first 2 or 3 seasons.
And there were much more sex scenes.
Way more. What? Way more. I swear.
Yeah, I don't know why.
It was literally that
thing that happened
shooting and sex. That was it.
Yeah. Yes, in the beginning it was just shooting and sex. Yeah. But anyway, me, I'm seeing Power, Suits, and what else? Yeah, Power and Suits, I think. Power, Suits, and Pearson. Pearson is like a spin-off of Suits anyway. But those are the shows that I'm seeing right now. And first off, man, just before I say goodbye, thank you very much for doing this with me. Really appreciate it. We'll probably do this more often, get a girl or something.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Get a female's point of view on these things.
All right, yes, man, because I bet so many girls would disagree with some things that we said. But I always do this thing where I put out 3 songs that I think people should listen to at the end of each episode. So the songs that I think people should listen to this week This one is by Ricardo Banks. It literally got released like maybe 2 days ago or 3. It's called Aurora. I listened to it. Fantastic jam. And then Post Malone obviously dropped his new album on Friday. Yeah. And I think my favorite one of it is still Goodbyes. You know, that one he put out before he even released the album with Young Thug. I like Wild as well. But then there's this one, It's Gonna Be Me, or It's Me, I don't know what it's called. I can't remember because I just listened to the album just once. Yes, there's that. And Chills. You know Chills now? Yeah. So Chills on his EP/LP, I don't know what it's called. But yeah, there's a song called Turnkey. Grateful is the one with Miracle. This one is Turnkey, I think. Turkey or Turnkey, I don't know what's called. But yeah, that's also a massive jam. You guys check it out. Thank you very much, Damien, for doing this favor. Also, guys, you can share this with your friends and also, you know, post on your social media. It's the Color Media Podcast. This was a fun one to record with my guy. And hope we do so many more like this. So
yeah.
Thank you guys. This is the end. Make sure you subscribe, listen, share, you know, all the like. Oh shit. I always do this magic word thing. So whenever if anybody listens all the way through, I say their magic word and then they just hit me up on social media and then, you know, I owe them airtime or money, however I'm feeling. So what do you think magic word should be this week? Anything, could be any word.
Magic word.
Any word.
Budgets,
yeah, because spending on a budget, yeah. So yeah, magic word this episode is budget. So if you listened all the way, you know what the magic word is. So hit me up and, you know, you'll be rewarded. So thank you guys. Thank you, Damien, and see you next time.
Yep.